Now, here's your host, Scott Beason. Welcome into the program, everybody. This is Alabama Unfiltered Radio. It is a Thursday, the 11th day of June, already in the year of our Lord 2026. I hope you've had a great 21 hours, and I hope the last few hours this morning have gone well as well. I'm here, Big Sky Mountain Mosley here, making sure we can broadcast to as many people, not only in the state of Alabama, but across the globe, and we are ready to rock and roll. The number here, 1-800-289-9228, 1-800-289-9228. And the YouTube place, go search out Scott Beason, and you can find us. We're almost at the we got almost at a milestone, almost 100 subscriptions, which is pretty good for as short amount of time as we've been going. And we understand that most people who listen to us are able to do that on their radio and don't really have to listen on YouTube. I wish we had known earlier about some of the changes, and if I'd had YouTube up ahead of time, we would be ahead of the game. But we're growing there, and we appreciate you going over there and checking it out. And you got to switch over to live. Go to Scott Beason. That's the channel. Then go to live, and you'll see what we're doing today. And you can just, put it on your phone and just listen to it. You don't have to look at my beautiful, handsome face at every moment with the bad lighting. But it's still good. It is still good. So all is well. Sky, how are you this morning?
I'm well, thank you. Doing all right.
Have you? I want to celebrate. You know how people have fear, what is it called? Fear of missing out? Fear of, what's it called? FIFO? No, that's F around and find out.
No, that's not it.
Fear of missing, FOMO. Fear of missing out.
Got it. Okay.
Not FAFO, which is F around and find out. It's two different things.
That one. I had that one.
You've had that one before?
Yes.
I effed around and found out.
You don't get all these scars.
And then I feared that I would miss. I was fearing that I would miss out, so I decided to F around that I found out that I should have missed out.
Yeah. Lessons learned.
But I'm disappointed in myself because part of me wanted to go do it. I could have, should have. We should have gone to the soccer game in Auburn.
It was an event. I mean, and they turned out had over 80,000.
Yeah, like 88,000 people.
Yeah.
I don't know if it could have held any more. I don't know how many people that stadium holds, but that's got to be close to capacity.
It's close. It looked pretty full.
And it's just one of those things where after it's over, you're like, well, I'm not gonna get a chance to do that again. I can't go do it next year.
Probably not.
And I have another question. Where was the University of Alabama? Was Auburn the only one that said, "Hey, look, we'll host one of these"?
I'm not sure games? How that came to be coordinated.
I mean, there's a joke there, but
I know I started it, but I'm laying off.
But I'm telling you, the Auburn people did a fantastic job, and the best I can tell from coverage from around the world is that people were impressed with the Eagle and the crowd and the stadium and it just went really, really well. So I want to just tell them, congratulations.
Great job.
And I hate that I missed it, and hopefully some of y'all can see it. And then I guess they were resting their star player Messi.
Yeah, he got in the game, I believe, later.
Yeah, then like 10 seconds into the game scores. I mean, was that because they sent him in for the penalty kick or what? But, I mean, how do you come off cold and make that kick?
Well, he's professional.
But we have our guys. We're from Alabama, Sky. We're Crimson Tide fans.
We have kicking problems.
We
That's probably
send
why
our
we didn't
kickers
get the game
in. They've been over there warming up,
yeah.
kicking, going there. Whew.
They didn't want to jinx their star players by that kicking voodoo palace we have in Tuscaloosa. So, but really, I watched it live.
You did?
I did, and I was very impressed. They had the Eagle. It started about 7:30.
Okay.
So just at sunset, they turned the Eagle loose, and you had this orange and blue sky.
There really was an orange and blue sky.
It really was. It was.
That's
quite
fantastic.
Impressive. Yeah.
And apparently,
field looked great. Field never looked better.
I wonder how many foreigners, how many people from other countries were at the game, or was it mostly our people?
Well, I noticed a lot of Argentina soccer jerseys.
Yeah.
In the crowd. So there's fans. I don't know where they came from, but they showed up.
I mean, if you're going to pick a team to be for, if you're from Alabama and you're like, now one of the things I saw was like somewhere in the stadium, I think on one of their monitors or screens, it was like football, meets football or football. It was cool. It was FOOTBALL meets FUT with the little slash BOL. You know what I'm saying? Football. And I thought that was a very good thing.
One thing I noticed right away, in football, American football, the clock counts down.
Yes.
Well, it doesn't. And I thought
it goes up.
I was having a flashback.
Well, they didn't used to even have a clock. Used to be the only guy that knew when the game was going to stop was the
referee. And one thing, and maybe I'm not following too closely because I had other things going on, but I kept the game on. And I noticed as we were ticking up to the end of the game, they added 2 or 3 minutes.
Yes, they do that.
Well, how do you do
that? They do that. So they decide how much time got wasted by somebody being hurt or flopping, or not that any of y'all football people would flop.
No.
Y'all don't, well, yeah, y'all do too. I was about to say y'all don't flop as much as the NBA does, but the NBA got it from y'all. Mm-hmm. But yeah, so if the timeouts are too long or they add the time back on. Instead of stopping the clock, that's what I'm telling you. Y'all think I'm joking when I said this game was basically invented and hammered out playing in a third world country, and one guy in town has a clock in his house and he has to go outside and yell when the clock hits 12. And so somewhere along the line somebody said, well, hey, Jose got hurt and we spent 5 minutes getting Jose off the field. Y'all go tell Monsignor or whatever he is to not tell us to stop till 12:05. And everybody thinks that's being a jerk, but there's no other way this worked out this way.
Can you imagine if we did that in college football?
Oh
well, wait a minute now. We had a little time wasted, so we're going to put a few.
We need 25 more seconds on the clock. We're still at the 50-yard line.
I was just happy somebody scored. They didn't wind up 0-0 and go into penalty kicks like often happens.
Yeah. Would they do that in a friendly game? Because they called it a friendly game.
It's an exhibition.
Yeah, it's a friendly. It's a friendly.
Well, I don't know. Apparently having a winner is not as paramount as it is.
Well, we used to have ties in college football, remember?
That's true.
We did.
Like kissing your sister.
We were okay with kissing our sisters. It's funny. Was it the South that didn't want to kiss their sisters or their cousins?
Yeah.
So we get all the grief, and the Yankees were like, oh, no, we're good with kissing our sisters and cousins. Yeah. And we're like, no, we want a winner. We'd rather lose than kiss our sisters.
That's right.
Anyway, I thought it was great, and
I'm glad you got to.
I don't know why the football people get all upset when we're trying to explain. It's just different. It's a different culture, and I admit the fact that you can. I think it's cool that you can basically play soccer anywhere, and all you need is you really need 5 things, Guy, and people don't believe it. 6 things. You need a spot to play. It doesn't have to be very big.
Little grass.
You need a ball.
Little dirt. Okay.
You need a ball.
Or something that'll suffice.
Something you can kick around.
Okay.
And then you need 4 posts or objects to make the outside edge of 2 goals. That's it. 2 rocks, 2 tree limbs stuck in the ground. Because like I said, you don't really have to have a clock. Game's over when, the monk over there rings the bell.
With the guy with the watch.
Yeah, you start when the bell strikes 10 and you stop when it strikes 12 or whatever it is. Take halftime. I know it's 45 minutes. I don't have to tell me. But really, it is a game that can be picked up and played. You don't have to have hundreds of dollars worth of equipment. You don't have to have all these things. So I understand the beauty of it.
You don't have to have hands.
No.
To play surf.
You only have to have feet.
That's got baseball beat, right?
And sometimes you have to have a
trash
head.
can lids for bases. And so they've got a speed on that.
Yeah, no.
I suppose.
It really is. I mean, even basketball, you have to have a smooth court for the most part. Well, and you got to have a goal.
You got to have a ball that will bounce.
And bounce somewhat straight.
Right.
So, I mean, I can see the whole thing. Now, look, Europe, and I mean, the big leagues, the high dollar football folks, I mean, I get it. They have super nice facilities. They sit over there in these little heated seats covered from the rain and the weather, which I'm surprised American football hadn't figured that out yet. We kind of have a little bit. You know, we have the things on the sidelines now where the little helmet dryers are and the little covers and stuff like that, but it's still not as pristine as the soccer.
Yeah, they've evolved. No doubt about it.
It's pretty good. We got to take a break. Lots of stuff to do today. Lots of warnings for people, which I know will set people off. I don't understand us. We'll be back. We are back, everybody. Goodness gracious. It's been a good day, last few days. Like I said, we celebrated what happened in Auburn. It's great to live in Alabama. It's great to live in the United States. But there are problems on the horizon. And a lot of people don't think that what happens around the world really matters here in the United States. But when things begin to percolate, bubble, simmer in other places, and then you have a lot of unrest, mistrust. And it has always been my hope that the regular people of the United States, not the elites, not the billionaires, and are they all bad? No, they're not. Not the super wealthy. There are people, we've talked about it on the show before, there are people who are mean and are nasty and are greedy and will take advantage of people. There are. But most regular people are not. They treat other people the way they would like to be treated. They're decent. They just want to be left alone, live their lives, live peaceful lives. As Jesus advises us to do. Just peaceful, little, quiet lives, and just trying to get along. And every day that passes. And I know that we have had tumultuous times way back. And there are some differences in the tumultuous times we've had way back and then what I see possibly coming on the horizon, Sky. And in the past, there have been some riots and uprisings. And my understanding is that many of those... And you tell me if I'm wrong, Scott, because you were a little bit older, but you may not be quite old enough. And if a listener is listening who was older, who lived through it, we've had riots occur, small ones, dealing with the labor movement at times. And do I blame those people for being like, no, I'm not working at the mine. Y'all are paying me, 12 cents a day. We're working little kids. Because a lot of times conservatives get this whitewashed version of some of the labor stuff. And look, we've made comments on this show. I think we have. If we haven't, we're about to. That really, 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 really bother people. Okay? And I'm going to say one of them. And this may be my last show because I said it. But I've looked at the history. And me personally, this is my opinion. You don't have to agree. I would rather have been a slave on some of the plantations in the South than be a slave to some of the industrial communities up north where when you got too old to work, they just threw you out and you starved. They made little kids work in the places where little kids could fit, and if they got their arms chopped off, so be it. If they died, so be it. They indebted you to the company store, and they would go and hunt you down if you tried to leave and had not paid your debts to the company store. Now, someone explain to me how that is not slavery. They will hunt you down for the debts that you had no choice in running up because the way the system was fixed. But, we don't call it slavery. You're free. That was just a lie. And then so workers are like, this is ridiculous. We're not doing it. We're going to rally together. Little Johnny just got killed last week and nobody cares. This plant or this mine is done unless we get some changes. And we on our side of the political aisle have been taught to say, that was horrible. They could have worked wherever they wanted. No, they couldn't have. I believed, like many people do a few years back, they could have just gone somewhere else. But they couldn't. They were enslaved there. So I'm on their side. At the same time, I will give the caveat to make this balanced. At the same time, you fast forward after those maladies were fixed, those injustices were fixed. You fast forward, and then the greed flipped the other way. And there were many companies and many businesses who were like, hey, look, we're in a competitive, we can't sell enough tires at this price. We got to try to get our costs down. You can't have, the greatest retirement, the greatest pay. We can't have one job description for the person that walks left in the plant, and another one who walks right in the plant, and we can't have guys that their only job is turning these two knobs, and that's all they do all day. We gotta up our productivity. Come on, help us out. And the union said, heck no, That wasn't the same thing. That wasn't what they were overcoming years and years and years ago. So greed works both ways. I get it. But yeah, there are plenty of people who will take advantage of regular Americans. We talked a little bit about Monday. And my goal and my hope and my wish and my prayer has always been that we as regular Americans would be able to come together, whether white, black, green, orange, red, yellow, purple, whatever, and say, we have to have a system where we, the people, are free. And then that's why I've always said the things about illegal immigration that I've said. One of the reasons. The reason illegal immigration is big in the United States is because elites wanted to be able to pay people less. That's just the truth. There's no doubt about it. Now, I know someone listening to this program just turned off the radio because they're like, that's not true. My father, my granddad had a farm, and we couldn't find anybody to work. I get it. But when you get everybody to calm down a little and you ask them, well, why was he not able to pay regular people to do these jobs? Pay them a little more. And you know what they'll say, Sky? Every time. I know this. When you ask enough, you'll get the older gentleman. He'll say, well, back in 1960, I got this much for a bushel of beans. Okay? But in 1995 or whatever, I still was only getting that much for a bushel of beans. The years are probably wrong. But what you'll find out is he was only able to sell his produce for whatever the elites would buy it for. Now, go and check the price at the store for that same produce. And it's not the same price that it was in 1960 or 70 or 80 or whatever. So there was inflation on the end where you and I buy it, but there wasn't as much inflation on the end where the guy was farming it.
Imagine that. And
that happens most times. So who was making the profit? The elites that I was talking about a minute ago. And what happens is people are like, well, there's nothing I can do about that. I can't do it. So I'm either going to go under or I'm going to start using these folks. And see, they push it down. And why do they push it down? They push it down so regular people like us are like demanding the very thing that's eating our bones out, the very cancer that's destroying our society. We're asking for it because we see that's an answer we can deal with right here. Hey, give me these 5 guys from another country to work for me. That's what I need. While the people who, at the next level up and then at the retail level are making more and more and more and more money off of it. And so we're kind of short-sighted on how we see those things. We'll finish up on the other side. We got a lot of stuff to do today. You don't want to miss it. Interesting stuff. Hopefully you're still with us. We'll be back. We are back, everybody. Thank you for listening to the program. Lots of stuff to do. Oh, my goodness. What a day, what a day, what a day and a week we have had. Probably the top story of the week in the United States, and we did not get to it like everybody else does because everybody else says the same things. The Carmelo Anthony trial, the conviction came down earlier in the week. He was found guilty of the murder of Austin Metcalf. And then he was sentenced to 35 years in prison. I don't know if y'all have paid attention to the response to this case. I don't know if you've paid attention to the amount of lying and just untrue things that people said leading up to the trial, right after the event occurred, during the trial. I saw one gentleman just lying through his teeth. I mean, telling a story that absolutely did not happen. And then it turned out that the prosecution, at least as far as it goes for the public, there was another cell phone video of the event. And I don't know if the prosecution would have been as successful without that video, but it disproved the claims of the defense. I think most everything kind of settled on that, with the jury being able to look at it and say, we're watching. We're seeing. What everybody was led to believe is not what occurred. And I think the system worked correctly. Did y'all know that he could have been sentenced to 99 years?
Yes. The option on the sentencing for that type murder conviction.
What, 5 years to 99 years?
Yes.
So they gave him a third.
Yeah. There's so much misinformation. So many people are just blowing up. It's really disgusting. Did you know, for instance?
Yeah, tell me whatever.
Did you ever run track?
No, ran cross country.
Okay, well, in track and field, your tent.
Yeah, that's where your team is. Yeah, I've been around track events. Yeah, Mac's girlfriend's a track star person.
It's your locker room.
It is. It's your space, and everybody knows that.
And Carmelo ran track, he knew that.
Mm-hmm.
So let's just starting from that point right there. I don't think a lot of people even understand that. They think it's some kind of festival tent, and I can walk in.
It's the Renaissance Fair, and everybody is invited to everywhere, right?
Yeah, it sounds like it with a tent, but no, that is your team's locker room.
All your stuff is there. Your bag is there with your money in it, your car keys, your cell phone, everything is there.
Yeah. So you just like a locker room, if somebody wanders in there, they have no business being there, and you have every obligation to ask them to leave.
Yes, absolutely you do. Absolutely you do.
That's where we start.
I did not even think about it from that angle, that there are people. And look, I will say this. I have figured out now, and, I guess I should have thought it years and years and years ago, but I figured out now that there are a lot of Americans, and maybe human beings, that are just not very smart. They're just not smart,
Scott, people tend to find what they seek. And it has become clear that there are a lot of black people that, let's face it, if this is black on black, or if the roles were reversed,
there'll be no news.
Right.
Well, there would be news if the role was reversed. If it was just a black on black murder.
But the same people that are screaming injustice would be celebrating. Okay, if the roles were reversed.
Well, let's go back to the guy who had the knee on the neck in Minneapolis. Who was the guy?
George Floyd.
George Floyd.
Yes.
What did these same people who want Carmelo Anthony off scot-free, what did they want for the police officers that were involved in that? Including the ones that were just standing by watching.
Yeah, that's what happened to the Asian man.
They wanted them imprisoned or executed done.
And
right?
the mob ruled.
It did.
Because that's what happened.
Yeah, because they did figure out that he did not die from the knee on the neck.
No.
And he died from his drug issues.
And now there's statues of him.
And
what does this say about
and
the
that guy's still in prison,
culture?
by the way.
Yeah. Yeah. It's really sad, but the hate that has come out, often in a crisis or something like this, people's true character is revealed.
Let me ask you a question, because racism is rearing its ugly head in this case. There are people saying that, well, the jury was it was unfair because the jury was white, I believe. No. We don't know that. We know that the jury had no black members.
There you go.
So because we don't know who's Asian, who's Hispanic, whatever. We don't know any of that. We just know there are no black members.
We know they were in the pool. And the defense and the prosecution each have an equal chance to strike.
Did you hear why some of them were struck?
Yes, I did.
And God bless those men and women who were struck, because they were honest.
At least they were.
They were good.
See, putting a brother in prison.
Yes. And when one of them said, I think something about I might be biased, and that's honesty.
Yes.
That's good. And then so what I hear from people is, well, the jury was biased because there was no black people. I'm like, wait. You don't know that. You're answering everything out of bias. And here's the question I have to ask myself. If everything was reversed, completely reversed, that Metcalf went into the tent of another high school and Anthony asked him to leave, and even if he was like, dude, you got to get out of here. You can't be in our tent, you whatever. And he ends up stabbing and killing the young black man.
Right.
I want the white kid to go to prison.
He should.
He absolutely should. And that's what I'm struggling with, Sky.
As well.
Is that there's this mindset. I don't know anyone. And I've known some people in the world that I would say, hey, look, I think they're probably genuinely racist. And they still would never, as far as I can tell, they might say, oh, I hate it. No, I don't know why people are upset about it. But they would still say, but you know what? You did it, boy. You got to go to prison. You can't be breaking the law. You are guilty.
Yeah, clearly guilty.
And this whole concept,
but he shoved him, Scott. He might have shoved him.
Yeah,
okay, so well, that gives me the right to stick a knife in your heart.
Well, that sounds like the deal in England where the police roll up, the guy's on the ground bleeding out, and the perpetrator says, well, he called me a racist name. And the police handcuff the guy dying on the ground.
Yeah.
He's the one stabbed, and all it took was the immigrant to say, he said something racist to me. Now, look, it's very similar to what we said a few weeks ago, that we are to the point where people say, if you call me something racist, and there's a magic word out there, I can beat you. Maybe I can stab you. Maybe I can kill you.
Yeah, justified. It's insane.
We got to deal with this on the other side. A lot of stuff to do. We'll be back. Welcome back into the program, everybody. So we'll try to get through this pretty quickly, the warning. But I started off with this thinking that regular Americans of every origin would be able to come together to save the country. And I still hope that is the case. But I see these fractures, and every few weeks or every few months, I try to warn people. And what occurred after the Carmelo Anthony, Austin Metcalf decision just really, really worried me, really, really bothered me. How many people were out there just saying this was the worst thing ever, that Carmelo Anthony was the victim. He was being bullied, had been bullied, all that. That's all bull. They didn't go to the same schools. None of this stuff. People just out lying to stir people up, I'm sure, Sky. But even if people are lying to stir people up, the response of the ignorant people, I can't help, okay? I get it. And if you're misinformed, I get it. But when people start advocating for violence, and people are on social media saying, well, just go and do something to a white person.
Yeah, random.
Just a random white person that never did anything to them, never was minding their own business, and they're advocating violence against just some random white person because that person happens to be white because they're mad about the Carmelo Anthony decision. That is a real problem.
Yes. The takeaway, I've studied on this. There's a psychological component to this, but what it reveals, there is a lot more white hatred
than you ever knew.
Than I just can't. It's hard to accept. Other than you being white, I hate you, and no matter what happens, it's like, okay, here's my parody of it. Mm-hmm. It's gotten so bad in this country, a black person can't go out and stab somebody in the heart without going to prison. It's Jim Crow all over. It's insane.
That's what it sounds like.
How do you come to that place in your mind?
And I don't think regular people have that, but there is a
portion, it's out there.
and it's way bigger than we know. And here's what people will say. Ask number one, because I've seen some other people trying to warn about this. What's his name? Crowder has a whole little couple of episodes where he's trying to warn people, and he's talking to some men. It's in a Yankee state. It's not in a southern state, and I think things are way better in the South. Promise me, or I promise you. But he's trying to give this same similar warning of, hey, look, people are wearing down. They're wearing thin on this, and this doesn't need to be just continuing to be jacked up and more fuel put on the fire. Quit fanning these flames of hatred and these flames of violence. And immediately the response, like, what are you talking about? This, that, the other, and this happened, that happened. You know, the civil rights movement was from before I was born. Yeah. Everybody out there who thinks I'm old, it was before I was born. And then Jim Crow was what, before your grandparents were born? Yeah. And then the Civil War was 150, 60, 65 years ago, or 160 years ago. So that's unbelievable amounts of time. Well, but still, there's no but still to it. But regardless of what anybody thinks, advocating for violence against random people is wrong. You would never hear me advocating violence against just some random person because of how they looked. That is full out racism.
That's the very definition. Only it's the violent side of it. It's like what I profess to hate, mm-hmm. I have become. And that is a sad place to
quote
arrive
unquote
at.
The oppressed have become the oppressors.
Yeah.
But
it's justified somehow.
Well, that's what
I don't understand this.
No. And here's the warning. The warning is that these kinds of things do not go on forever. And I understand also what it looks like in our culture, okay? I understand that when somebody acts a fool at the ball game, a bunch of folks kind of avoid it, kind of walk away. Let's get out of here. Let's don't stay around this. And so there's this perception, Sky, that certain groups can act and do however, and that there will not be pushback. That's what I'm trying to warn about is do not take the lesson of what you have seen for 20, 30, 40 years of passivity and think that will last forever. That's what I'm trying to say. Just because everyone has cowered and cowed to some insanity is not going to last forever. Eventually, you're going to light the candle. And I don't want that to happen. I want us all to live those quiet lives where we all get along and we all love each other and we take care of our families and we're at peace. But folks have got to stop fanning the flames. We'll be back. All right, everybody. Lots of stuff to do. Let's get out to the phone calls. What you got, Sky? Something wrong?
Oh, nothing. I'm just checking the.
Are we still on right there? Let's see. Hold on. There we go. Let's go out to Red Top before we move on. A lot of international news out there. What are we on? We're on the 38th time or something that we have a deal. We got a deal,
man.
right? It's 38 times. The deal is imminent. Welcome, Red Top.
He knew there was never going to be a deal. So they can you hear me?
I can. I'm listening intently.
Okay, good. And by the way, I'm about to do a barn here.
A barn, really? Tell me you're painting it red or white. One of those, just those.
Well, he said it didn't matter to him, but he said I thought it used to be red, but it's awful faded. It's nobody knows that. I prefer red.
Yeah, red barn is cool. I'm going with the red.
But he's the customer, and if he wants it, any color he wants, I don't care.
You going to spray it?
Oh, yes, sir. Yes,
yeah,
it's back here. It's got horse stables in it and everything.
Nice.
So it hadn't been resided in 30 years, so I'm about to redo it. And this is great because it's a beautiful location, as you know.
Yes, sir.
Now, and also, thank you. I told Sky this. Thank you for letting me bring up ASAP yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
And whenever I came back on to listen to you guys, y'all were still talking about it, and I did not realize it was going to generate that much interest. And by the way, these people aren't asking for money. They're just asking you to call your legislator to have them make this available through Medicare.
Yeah.
Now,
did you hear how much one scan was? What was it, Scott? Is it $1,500 or $1,700?
Yeah, it's crazy.
And see, that goes to show you how much things have increased in price. I'm surprised it's not more.
Yeah.
Whenever I was diagnosed with epilepsy when I was 21, that would have been 1974, I paid for a skull series and a brain scan myself. It was $685.
And what year was that?
For it. 1974.
That's a lot of money.
That predates a lot of government involvement in insurance.
That was a lot of. Hey, that was at $50 an apartment, so I painted 12 apartments for my brain scan and skull series.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, and that's fine. The only disappointing part is the doctor came back and said, "Mr. Johnson, we didn't find anything up there."
Hey, look, you beat me to it.
yeah, I know, but this is a true story. It's not a joke. I've had to tell that before, and I'm going, "Well, Doc, I'm not." That sounds good in one way.
It sounds terrible in another. I got you.
Yes. Now, Carg Island, all this stuff is about to go. They've had them Marines sitting there a long time, and I didn't realize the Iranians couldn't even see at night.
Yeah.
It's a bad problem when you have the strongest Navy in the world parked out 10 miles outside your coast. I do believe they're about 10 miles out, if that much. They're inside the international limit, which is it's the 12-mile limit, right? International waters.
I think that's right.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, and we're basically stealing oil from Iran every night. And but everybody needs to be aware. I've heard several reports this morning from Pete Hegseth and from Israel and everything already. There are terrorist cells everywhere. And he said, this is a nation of martyrs. They have 450,000 martyrs ready to die in Iran for Allah. And so we need to be aware. Of course, we feel safe in Alabama, but they said the amount of Iranian potential terrorists that came into this country over the past 4 years is staggering.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, I know. It wasn't just the past 4 years. They've been working on it for, what's our number? 49 years?
Yeah, we don't know what.
49 years. So we're about to have a real, Cash Patel said this morning in a very nice way, he was really very concerned about the World Cup. This is the biggest security besides the Olympics event in history.
Mm-hmm.
And finally, have you seen the tallest church in the world? yesterday, blessed by blessed by the Pope, done by the great artist Gaudí, 566 feet tall.
The Basilica de la Sagrada Familia in Barcelona, Spain.
Yes.
Wow.
Been under construction for 147 years, I do believe. It will be through in about 10. It is goes to show you when the Catholic Church builds a church, they don't mess around. And now Jesus has the tallest skyscraper in the world. Too bad, Allah. See you
the
later.
Completion of the Tower of Jesus Christ.
Wow.
Yes, and that porcelain. Well, they say it's enamel and glass. It's basically a porcelain cross on the top of that thing.
Well, very cool.
And it's beyond belief. And Gaudí was a very unique artist. Just like
do they
Dalí
use
Gaudí.
the church? I mean, do people go to church there? Like big crowds, or
he blessed it yesterday and had mass.
I know,
Yes,
but how many
have been
people are
using the
there
church,
having mass?
for the last 100-something years?
I know, but are there 20 people there? 200 people there? We don't know.
It's in Barcelona. I'm sure it's a few thousand all the time. I don't know what the capacity is, but I bet it's a good 10,000, 12,000. Does it say the capacity where you're looking?
I'm looking. I'm using that old AI that you don't like me to use. From regular mass ranges from a few hundred to about 1,500, depending on the service and the space.
Good.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Good.
Not bad.
And that's every day. The mass is every day. You know, us Catholics, we're so we like
the
to be
Sunday, the Sunday and the Saturday ones seem to be the biggest. And it looks like 1,500, about 1,500, maybe the as much as you can pack in there. So it's way taller than it is big.
Oh, way taller. But
yeah, it's impressive.
Fantastic.
Hey, did you know the I think it's the tallest, maybe the tallest Catholic church in east of the Mississippi is in Coleman, Alabama. I think that's right.
It's St. Bernard.
No, St. Bernard's
Right.
off to the side. I don't know what the name of the church is. We just call it the Catholic Church in Coleman, but I'm sure it's got a name of, y'all name everything. But it's not by the St. Bernard Monastery, but the monastery is there where the Ave Maria Grotto is. You would like that too.
Yeah, and it's still open.
Yeah, it is. My dad went to college there, Red Top.
And I bet he can walk a straight line, can he?
He can. He can do math too. He's really smart. He's one of the smartest guys I know.
Yeah, well, you better know.
Must have been all that
you do
Catholic
with-
training.
Hey, no doubt. Making mistakes can be painful.
Oh,
Take
man.
like
Straighten
that.
you
No
out.
side, no drum.
You got it.
All right.
Let's see. Let's see if I'm right about that. East of Mississippi. I may have told y'all something wrong.
Uh-oh.
Well, Newark, New Jersey claims one. Well, I'll figure it out. There's something special about it, so we'll figure that out while we're talking.
No doubt.
Did y'all see? Oh, Soldier Boy. Soldier Boy's actually bringing up something that we
I
talked
told him
about
it's actually on the list.
before we talked about before the show.
Yeah.
We got a minute though, right?
Yeah, listen.
Yeah, he won't have time to get started on that. We'll
We don't want to get him
we'll hold
upset by bringing him on and then
put him on hold.
Yeah.
We'll just wait.
Yeah. Just wait it out.
Did y'all see Charles Barkley get in trouble?
What's he done this time? Sir Charles.
He said something about Cardi B.
Can't do that.
So Cardi B shows up at the whatever game it is, right?
Knicks and Spurs, I
Yeah.
believe is what's going on.
And she's got an outfit that is built purposefully to look at Cardi B, okay? That's what these outfits are made to do. Right?
Got it.
And it's built purposefully to notice the top half of Cardi B.
Okay.
And Barkley says something about her being curvy or something, which is clear that's what she wants. That's what the whole thing is about. Because this outfit doesn't make you sing better, okay? Let's be honest.
Yeah.
And he says something along the lines of that it shouldn't be Cardi B, it might be Cardi D.
Woo, Sir Charles shoots, he scores.
And then people act like oh, I can't believe. If you watched 1 second of that and you didn't notice, then you're a liar.
That's where we're at now.
You're a liar.
Dressed provocatively where everything's hanging out.
Yeah.
And then get mad because somebody says something.
Well, she didn't even get mad.
Well, you know how these
people are. Oh, how dare. That's so low rent. None of the people saying that's low rent were upset about the outfit.
Yeah, it's not what was done, it's the reaction.
It's the comment on what was done.
He said something about it.
And you know what Barkley said? He said he hoped he got fired.
I love him.
Because he said,
he may be the greatest thing to ever come out of Auburn.
I've got like 5 or 6 years left on my contract. There's no way I'm going to make it. So I'd be better off if they fire me now.
Yeah. The round, bound, or rebound strikes again.
Cardi D.
He's terrific.
Oh, my gosh. We got to take a break. We'll be back. Welcome back in, everybody. Lots of stuff to do, lots of things to talk about. Let's get out to your phone calls. Soldier Boy, welcome to the program.
Thank you for taking my call there.
Absolutely, brother. How are you?
I'm doing fine. Hey, you know who I want for president next time? Not J.D. Vance. I don't want, no. Marco Rubio, no. You know who I want? I want the president of Poland.
Yeah.
The new one or the old one?
The one currently that builds fences around and protects his country's borders.
Yeah, that was started by the old guy. The new pro-EU guy, I thought, won, but I could be wrong. No. I think Naraki may still be one of the good guys. I'm thinking of, what's the other one over there? Bill. Anyway, yeah, I'm with you. I like somebody that will protect their country.
Yeah, he showed him, and he said if they sneak across the border, he's got border fences and barbed wire and motion detectors, and he's got 24-hour guard service. He had two of his soldiers, the savages, threw spears and killed two of their soldiers that were patrolling the border. This is what you're dealing with. You're dealing with animals. People understand it. So let's talk about what's going on in, what is it? Is it Ireland or Scotland?
It's in Ireland, yes.
Yes, that's right. And they tried to take a guy in the street, one of the illegal aliens, and tried to behead him. Can you believe that?
Yes. No. The illegal alien tried to behead an Irishman in the street after stabbing him multiple times. Yes.
Well, you got to remember what happened a couple weeks before that. We had a kid in England got stabbed in the chest a couple times because the guy said he was making racial remarks at him, and that's why he stabbed him. Did you know in England, believe it or not, in England it's illegal to carry a knife with you, okay? It's considered a deadly weapon. Unless you're Muslim, you can carry a certain weapon because it's a religious
ceremonial.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. Yep.
Did you hear about that, Scott?
Yeah, we talked about it earlier in the program today.
Yes, briefly.
Briefly.
And now, he dies with handcuffs on him.
Yeah.
And everybody laughs at Mr. Trump about what's going on with these illegal aliens. He is actually being a Nostradamus. He's seeing what's going to happen in the future.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the police officer said the British lad who'd been stabbed, as they handcuffed him, the stabbing victim, as he's being handcuffed, he says, "I've been stabbed," and the police officer responded, "I don't think so, Mike."
Yeah. You said something bad and mean to this young man.
I understand you said a racial thing. So bleed to death right there in the street. Yeah.
Hey, let me ask y'all a question, Soldier Boy. Soldier Boy, let me ask you a question. Because, look, I know that I'm warped. I get it. I'm not right. I get it. I understand that. People have said that before. Would you rather be called a bad name or be stabbed?
That's a dumb question.
I used to think it was a dumb question.
Good response.
But in 2026, apparently being called a bad name is just an open door to murder, to fighting, to assault, to whatever you want to do. You call me a bad name, the wrong bad name, I can do anything to you, and I'm totally justified. When did that happen?
Well, you know what? I think violence is being condoned. For example, look at who is that congresswoman or Senator Crockett down there from Texas?
Yeah.
Jasmine Crockett. Yes.
She said Anthony used a what do you call it? A little scissor knife with a staff. The staff was 4 inches long.
Yeah. Yeah.
She said it was a Swiss Army knife with a pair of scissors, that has a spoon on it and all those different utensils in it.
Right.
And then that's all he stabbed her with. And no one. And another thing about this, the Anthony trial is, they said there was no black people on the jury. Okay. Now let me ask you. Let's stop and talk. They didn't say the complete. They never say the complete story. There was a lady of Chinese color. There was a Hispanic person there. There was an Indian person on the trial. They had the whole damn planet covered.
It was very diverse. Yeah, we talked about that earlier.
Totally diverse, not just 12. They made it sound like it was 12 white people on there doing a lynching.
Well, that's that. I didn't know the makeup, Soldier Boy, but earlier in the program, I said that I could tell from the statement that they said there's no black Americans on the jury. That I just knew from Craig's Law that there was some diversity, but that you're right. They want everybody to believe it was old 12 white guys who looked like Colonel Sanders, and they were either Colonel Sanders, Foghorn Leghorn, or what's the guy, Yosemite Sam, dressed up like and hollering out for Belvedere to come here, boy. Yeah. That's what they wanted you to think.
You can't hate the media enough.
No, they're terrible.
You can't.
They're dishonest.
Deliberately.
It's gotten to the point, and then that one guy, what was it? Did you hear what Cullen McGregor? Man, he got bad last night on the interview. Oh my God! We're gonna fight and take back our own damn country.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And suddenly he's the bad guy. We have got.
Well, here's what the problem is. I used to hate when people. Scott, I used to hate when people played the race card. Okay, I used to hate that. One of the worst things I hated. But now what I hate the more in the race card, I found out people who play the victim card. My God.
Well, the two go hand in hand.
Is played so. Oh, well, they do, but they're two different cards now.
Yeah, they're right.
You can play the victim card and not play the race card.
Okay.
You can play one ox. You said the guy. You can play both at the same time. Absolutely right. Like because it gets to a point where, Scott, Mr. Trump is right. This country is going to be overtaken slowly. Even the state of Alabama. Remember, didn't you talk about how they were talking about voting, giving college grants or something for illegal aliens in the state of Alabama? They voted for illegal aliens.
There was legislation last year or the year before to give I think it was in-state tuition to illegal aliens, because that's one of the things that we prohibited years ago. And I just want people to realize that the country will change tremendously whenever it tips the other way, and the left has been working for it for a very long time.
Yes, and in Belfast, now that the people are rising up, they're in the streets, the riots are going on, they're finally taking action because they were left with no other option. They've been abandoned and betrayed by their own government. It's too bad they gave up their guns 30 years ago.
Well, they thought they were going to be safe, and they believed that the police were going to protect them.
Yeah,
and the police are on the side of the tyrannical government. Yes, sir.
How can you vote in California and all you need is a gym card or a library card or a credit card? Are you kidding me?
Yeah, it's bad. It is so bad. Soldier Boy, thanks very much, man. We got to take a break. We'll be back. Welcome back in, everybody. So, jumping off what we talked about earlier in the program and then what Soldier Boy was talking about, there are a number of demonstrations / riots going on in Belfast, and there's some questions that we have to ask, we have to deal with. And Scott made a good point right before the break. The Irish are figuring out, hey, maybe we should have kept our guns.
Yeah, it's a little late. They had water cannons turned on them yesterday.
Yeah. Now here's the question, and the left is hinted at some of this at times, and I get it, I understand it. What do you do? There's a number of questions that have to be asked to set this up, or at least one big one. Another question is, what do you do? What happens when say you have a little town and 1,000 people live in that town, and the government comes along and says, you know what, we really need to bring a bunch of folks from another country, illegal immigrants, or maybe we'll let them be legal. They're refugees, and they bring 1,500 refugees into your town. Okay. Then they say, well, you know, they are refugees. They should be able to vote. They're citizens. They're residents of your town. So we're going to have a new vote. No, we're not even going to have a new vote. We're going to wait till the vote for mayor and city council and school board. And we're going to elect people, because that is democracy. And you and your buddy are like, well, wait a minute. There's only 1,000 of us. 300 of us are idiots. They're already leftist. We barely can beat them all the time, you know. And you just brought 1,500 people from another country, and we're all going to get to vote. Who becomes the mayor, the city council, and the school board? Will it be the people who were already in the community, or will it be the people who just moved there? Now, you might, Scott, you know who it'll be. It'll be Karen and the liberal white women that'll hold all the things, because they'll be voted for by the 1,500 people who came from some other country.
Why? Because they'll get more benefits.
And they won, Sky, by voting. Democracy. Scott and Sky, do you oppose democracy? I mean, are you opposing the will of the people?
And remember, no one is illegal on stolen land.
Yeah, no joke. Yeah, right. And so you're left with, you and I are left with something that your family helped build, you helped build, the town that your family created. It was you. It was your people. It was your friends, your family, your neighbors. And now it is being run by people who came from somewhere else and do not care about your heritage. But it happened democratically, peacefully. Now, I would argue it wasn't peacefully, but it happened peacefully. Is there anything in the world? Do you have any recourse? Do I have any recourse? No. I could protest. I could walk up and down the street all day long. Does the federal government care? No. Does the new mayor and council care? No. They change what your kids learn in school. They decide that all the streets need to be renamed. Maybe there's a new everyone was against us giving out Gideon's Bibles outside the school. That had to be stopped. But now all of a sudden we've got ceremonial knives in the school classroom. Scott, you always say things that are just so outrageous. California and the state of New York have allowed, what are they called? Ceremonial knives for Sikhs?
Yes, exactly. Sikhs. Yes.
Yeah, did y'all know that? Did y'all know
that? Yeah, that's what happened in Belfast.
Those folks can carry their knives to school because it's a religious freedom thing. That's in America, people.
Yeah.
We just wait till your local school board in your town in Alabama decides to do the exact same thing. Now your kid is going to be suspended for making something that looks like like a gun out of a Pop-Tart, okay? I want you to understand
that happened.
I know.
That's for real. That's reality,
That's a real
baby.
story.
Yeah.
Your little boy, your little girl, I had this one time, little girl, brings a Nerf gun and somebody has a heart attack about it. Not your friendly host doesn't. But, the educrats have heart attacks and stuff. But so-and-so's got a ceremonial knife. How long are those things? The blades are like 5 inches long.
Yeah, it's serious business.
It's a real blade with a real handle, got the swoop, the curve, the whole 9 yards.
Yeah.
But, hey, that's religious tolerance. But you better not be giving out. You better be on the sidewalk if you got one of them there Gideon Bibles. Whoa! So you get outvoted, and it's democratic. What they're experiencing in Ireland and England is they are going to be outvoted. And then Karen and Kyle are going to say to the people who are mad about losing their town, losing their county, losing their country, that they should love democracy and they should obey the law, and they basically should, how is it they said it in Braveheart? Bend over and kiss their own butts goodbye.
Yeah, putting it.
That's exactly what they're going to do. It looks like, except for the people of Ireland. Belfast, those people are coming together, and they've had these differences. It was funny. Ireland's had this civil war between the Protestants and the Catholics.
Yeah, it's been going on since
forever. I guess since the first time there were some Protestants and the Catholics. I don't know who the good guys are and the bad guys are. I don't know. I don't keep up with it that much. I don't know who was considered the terrorist and who weren't the terrorist. I don't. Who was who? I don't know. Do you know, Scott?
Well, you're thinking probably the Irish Republican Army.
Now, who was that?
Against Britain. That's the.
That was just against Britain. Okay.
But the Catholics and the Protestants have been
fighting forever.
Yeah. There's really no bad guy, no good guy in that.
In that one.
Yeah.
Well, let me play y'all something if I can find it for you and tell you where things are going. Now, this guy, yes, he's kind of a self-proclaimed. He's got a order of the Knights Templar. Does he have? How many people are in his church? I don't know, but I've seen a couple of different things. But I want you to listen to what he has to say. If I can get back to it, let's see. I think they may have just taken it down, Sky. Let me see if it's on.
No, that never happens. That was a quick one, though.
Let's see. Come
right
on.
when you search for it.
Okay, here he's stopping. He starts with "my friends." Okay.
All right.
And the lady, I don't think there's any curse words. Let me start with the lady who starts it.
I'll be ready.
The Knights Templar has joined the conversation.
That Knights Templar.
My friends, North and South, Orange and Green, the days of the old rivalries are over. And if you cannot get that into your head, you may pack up and go to England and live in a country that's about to fall to the invaders. This is Belfast, not Bromley. We do not tolerate these type of attacks on our people, Catholic or Protestant. I'm going to tell you, last night, many men, Protestant men from the Shankill Road area, went over the peace line to stand with the good people of the New Lodge. Catholics and Protestants, Orange and Green, must unite if we have to see this threat off. I'm a chaplain in the Knights Templar Order.
We got to take a break. We'll be back. Welcome back in, everybody. This is Alabama Unfiltered Radio. I'm Scott Beason. Don't forget the podcast Brian Dawson has. And since we're on the short segment, let's go on out to our phone calls. I think we got a first-time caller. Brad, welcome to the program. I hope you are well.
I'm doing very well, Scott. Pleasure to talk to you.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
I'm calling from up here in Crimestone County. I was listening to you talk to. Well, you know, when you have a sheriff and a judge within the space of a year, both having to go to jail. And anyway, I heard you talking about some of the troubles with democracy, and wondered if you had ever read the book by a fellow named Hans Hermann Hoppe. He's one of these Mises Institute guys. It's called Democracy: The God That Failed.
I have not, but I bet you I have read some things that'll be very similar. You and I both know, Brad, that the founders tried to warn us of democracies, and really it was a progressive movement, early 1900s. So now we're 100+ years into being brainwashed into we're democracy, and I firmly believe that the goal of that is what we have just seen, which is it doesn't matter if your God-given rights are trampled. It doesn't matter if your traditions are trampled. It doesn't matter if your culture is destroyed, your family's destroyed, your community's destroyed. You must take it because it was done democratically. And that's the poisonous pill, I think, that we have all swallowed, and it is embedded into our mindset. I mean, I struggle with articulating, hey, what do we do when they create a situation where we lose votes and then the new people in power take away Western civilization?
Yeah, no, absolutely. And the big problem with it is centralization. You know, it's one thing if it's the people in your town and,
right.
and you don't like how things have turned out there. You can maybe move to the next town and find some refuge. But when you have 50 states and all you need is 50% plus one, and then the rest of the country has to do whatever that I mean, just, you know, technically it's a minority or a majority, but I mean it's barely a majority, and we all have to follow that. Well, that's
right.
That'd be a problem.
Hey, what's the name of that book again? Who wrote the book? And what's the name of it again? I'm writing it down, Brad.
Oh, yeah, sure. It's called Democracy: The God That Failed, and it's a German fella. His name is Hans, H-A-N-S, and then I believe his last name is a hyphenated thing, Hermann Hoppe. And I forget whether Hermann has two N's at the end, but the last name is H-O-P-P-E.
H-O-P-P-E. Yeah, I did not come anywhere close to that. Okay.
The thing you asked.
Yeah, I know.
Democracy, the God that
Can I throw
failed.
one more thing?
Absolutely.
Yeah, let me throw one more thing, if I may. I was chatting with the Ladies of Liberty. I had passed on Red Top's review of the debate or forum the other day, and they just said, "Oh, Red Top, yeah, we remember Red Top," and so they just wanted to pass on their well wishes. And hope he's doing well.
Fantastic, Brad. I appreciate you, bud. Hey, thanks for listening up there in Crimestone County.
Oh, absolutely. I love it. Thank you so much.
You got it, man. Have a good one.
It just proves it's easier to like Red Top from a distance.
I'm
just messing with you.
Family member. You're like, man, I can't wait to see him at Christmas. I can't wait till he goes home.
Oh, I wish I hadn't said that. I'm going to hear about that tomorrow.
Oh, he knows we love him. Golly, bum. We all get along. This is one big family. What's going on in Belfast? And I'm going to try to find that Democracy, the God that failed. The reason I bring it up is the gentleman that I was playing you the clip of before the break from Ireland, and we
uniting the Catholics and the Protestants,
and we need to play it again. Maybe when we come back after the break for people who just heard part of it.
I'd like to hear it again.
Yeah,
it's inspiring.
It's I heard him giving one of his little mini sermon kind of things months ago, maybe a couple years ago, bringing up this idea of democracy and saying this is terrible, and he's pointing out that these people will vote your culture, your life, everything away, and you're going to take it because you believe democracy is good. And he's like, democracy's not good. And I'm like, I started vibrating because I'm like, I got to say it's good, but I got to.
We've been trained. Our democracy.
You know who loves democracies?
The people that have 51%.
Oligarchs.
Ah, yes, even better.
Oligarchs and oligarch families, super
thrive,
wealthy families,
and they stay in power.
Know that they can run the media, know they can run the school systems, and they educate the people in a way that the people, the uninformed, will vote leaders who will do what they do what they're told. And then everybody says, well, that's who we got. That's who we elected. And everybody's like, oh, well, golly geez, I know this is terrible. But who is always getting their way? Look at the United States.
It's exactly what's happening.
The Democrats are always against the billionaires, right?
Oh, yeah.
And the Republicans are for Main Street. But who always gets their way? The billionaires.
No matter who's in power.
No matter which group is in power, the super elites always get their way. Remember, if you don't think it, just ask yourself again, what happened to climate change? You got to have a car made out of toilet paper and popsicle sticks, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And now we're building AI data centers everywhere because they decided they've run that gamut. Everybody finally figured them out on climate change, and now we're going to sacrifice everybody for AI. We got to take a break.
That worked.
We'll be back. Welcome back in, everybody. Golly, the third half of the show is already here. So here's how. Let me play the guy again from Belfast. There were riots or unrest apparently in Belfast over the last couple of nights in response to the violence being perpetrated on Irish people at the hands of refugees or people who aren't Irish. How's that? And so I want y'all to see, look, the European press might be a little better than the American press when they're talking about American things. Okay? They'll tell their people a little more of the truth than we may get here. But when they're dealing with their own issues, you don't hate them enough either. Okay? So you've got this unrest, and yes, there was some violence committed. Some cars set on fire, some houses burned, etc. Story from the BBC by Ciaran, C-I-A-R-A with a tilde or whatever, a little slash over it, Macaulay and Catherine Doyle. I will never get over watching my home of 13 years burn down. So just get the feel, okay? You've got the people of Ireland who are like, you know what? We've had enough. We've been begging. We've been asking. We've been trying to get y'all to stop. Yes, our elected officials, elected democratically, supposedly.
Yes.
Keep letting all these people in, and we got these problems, and nobody will listen. We tried to walking around the streets and having, loudspeakers and, hey, we look out for Ireland. Y'all didn't care. And now it's turned a little, mostly peaceful, as we would say in America. They had a mostly peaceful protest in Ireland.
Right.
And so the article is about Jamie Corey, whose house burned down on Lindrick Street. His house caught fire after a car belonging to foreign nationals next door was set on fire, and then his house burned down. And I wish his house had not burned down. But note that the story is about the guy who's Irish, which I think he's probably Irish. I'm looking at the picture. His name is Jamie Corey, so I would guess so.
Sounds
So note that the focus from the BBC is the Irish guy's house got burned down. Y'all got to quit this because the Irish people are being hurt. So you go on down. Yeah. The next photo, white girl. Yura, 19, who's part of a Ukrainian family, were forced to leave their home on Lindrick Street during the disorder. She described the scene last night as terrifying. Okay? All right, so note what you got, right? The BBC, who knows this whole controversy is about folks
refugees,
not from Christendom. How's that?
Right. It's a good way to put it.
And they run out, here's your first victim. Y'all need the Irish guy. Here's the Ukrainian girl. You can't be against the You've made life miserable for the Ukrainian girl. See what they do?
And it's ginning up public opinion
That's
against.
Exactly right. And then listen, and some of the BBC, these people writing this think this is going to matter, okay? Listen to this sentence at the end. Also worried about the night of violence are healthcare staff. Now, like I said, it should be called a mostly peaceful protest. But the healthcare staff, so in my mind, Sky, what do I think? They're worried that people are going to get hurt and the healthcare industry will be overwhelmed because of these mostly peaceful protests. Oh no, that's not where this is going. Beason Josie from the Northern Ireland Indian Nurses Forum.
They have a Northern Ireland Indian.
A Northern Ireland Indian Nurses Forum.
Tells you right there, there's been way too much migration. Way too much.
She's a senior nurse and is worried her colleagues from the Indian community may decide to leave Northern Ireland in the aftermath. Now, note where this is going. If you don't have them, you won't get health care. You see what they've done?
I totally see how it's flipped the script on this this whole
People
event.
sometimes think about we are here to come take their job. No, it's not that way. Healthcare workers were among the most needed employees in Northern Ireland. We are filling the workforce shortage. They're doing jobs the Irish won't do, Sky.
Sure.
Do you want to bet whether or not the Indian Nurses Association people would do the nursing jobs for less than the Irish nurses would before they started bringing the Indian nurses in? You want to bet me $1,000? Anybody want to call me and bet me your car?
No.
Because isn't that what we're doing with tech jobs here in the United States?
That's how it works. That's how you bring them in. It benefits the
It
corporations.
benefits the who? The oligarchs.
Yeah.
Didn't we talk about that in another segment when we were talking about
Yeah.
democracy, the oligarchs?
They always win. Because they play both sides of the game.
Oh, absolutely.
Almost can't lose.
Here's our guy again. How much time we got? We got time.
Okay, we're good. 4 minutes.
Let me see if I can get it to go back. You know what? It won't let me go back. It wants me to stop. No. Stop. All right, here we go.
The Knights Templar has now joined the conversation. Yeah, that Knights Templar.
My friends, North and South, Orange and Green, the days of the old rivalries are over. And if you cannot get that into your head, you may pack up and go to England and live in a country that's about to fall to the invaders. This is Belfast, not Bromley. We do not tolerate these type of attacks on our people, Catholic or Protestant. I'm going to tell you, last night, many men, Protestant men from the Shankill Road area, went over the peace line to stand with the good people of the New Lodge. Catholics and Protestants, Orange and Green, must unite if we have to see this threat off. I'm a chaplain in the Knights Templar Order. This is our flag here. It's my British flag here. But I'll be happy to stand with any Roman Catholic person, north, south, east or west, in solidarity against these attacks in our community. We're built different here. We're built different in this country. Both communities here have fought, bled and died for hundreds and hundreds of years over this land. We love this land. We have bled for it. We have died for it. What are we doing? Sitting here watching people come to our country to murder our people. Jim Dowson here from the Knights Templar International. I'm inviting you today to join this order.
You know what it reminded me of?
Braveheart. Here.
Let's see what is on the agenda here.
Our army. To join it, you give homage.
Hold on.
Why does it go? We didn't come here to fight for that. Yourselves on this battlefield. I give you thanks. This is our army. To join it, you give homage. I give homage to Scotland. And if this is your army, why does it go? We didn't come here to fight for them. Oh, the English are too many.
Got to take a break. We'll be back. Welcome back in, everybody. My goodness gracious, some people called, so they might have gotten some audio issues. It could be a copyright violation. That's the good thing about the people who listen to the show live over terrestrial radio can hear all the clips. If we play a clip from a movie, if we play something from somewhere else, that might be part of the deal over at YouTube. We played the clip of the guy trying to rally the folks, the Protestants and the Catholics together in Ireland to do something about their country being overrun. And I really wish Americans would come together, regular Americans, white, black, green, orange, red, whatever, and realize that our country is being given away and that many of our leaders do not care about giving away the country. And it's hard for us to understand, okay? It's hard for me to believe that we elect leaders who will allow our country to go away. And all you have to do is go look at Europe that was way more homogenous than we were. And their leaders have just told them to stick it and you will take it. And it was all under the argument of, we're being nice to refugees. Our population is dwindling. Well, you should have been incentivizing the population instead of telling all the Europeans not to get married and not to have children and everybody needs to work for us. Everybody needs to work at the bank. You should have fostered an environment that promoted families and children, but they didn't do that. They said, oh, no, we'll let the population drop off, and then we'll bring untold people from the third world because they'll do the jobs you won't do. Well, how did that work out? They have untold people on the welfare rolls now. And they brought people in from a completely different culture and from places that say we want to be in charge. We're not going to assimilate. And when we have enough people, we'll vote you out. And then maybe we'll let you wait till we vote you out democratically. But if not, we'll just get rid of you violently. That's where Europe is on the precipice of. And so the gentleman was trying to rally everyone together, Catholics and the Protestants. Hey, look, you're all Irish. We gotta. It's like Sky said earlier. Look, you fight this fight now. Y'all go back to fighting amongst yourselves later.
Right. Plenty of time for that.
You got plenty of time for a family fight. And then we followed that up with the Braveheart speech about, yes, you may die.
Yeah.
But the point that I've missed before when I heard it is, you may live for a while or for a time till they come for you. And I feel like that's kind of how we are here in the United States. We keep pushing off the difficult decisions. And again, I want to point out, we keep voting for people who tell us they're fighting for us. They're putting us first. But we have a United States Senate that can't manage to pass the SAVE Act because they believe. Now, understand this. This makes me so mad. And I see you on there, Rocket Tour. I'm trying not to get totally off the topic, but you know how my stream of consciousness works. It makes me so mad that they love their precious 60-vote rule filibuster mumbo-jumbo that they have. They love it more. It is more important to them than trying to guarantee that elections are run honestly. Does everybody understand that? That they care so much about whether or not they might not be able to get something they want because of the 60-vote filibuster rule, which means they don't really have to work hard. They just get to say, oh, I don't think I want to vote on that. That matters more in their world. Their moral compass points toward the filibuster is more important than honest, clean elections. Does everybody, I don't know if we as Americans have fully swallowed the fact that our U.S. senators believe the filibuster is more sacred than honest elections. And that's at the best case scenario. That's the most honest, honorable way you can explain it, that they feel filibuster is more important than honest elections. And you can go down the road of makes it even worse, that they're for dishonest elections. That's way worse. That they're for their squishy little buddies getting elected so everything can be messed up, and the only thing we manage to do is what the uniparty wants. You do that one too. But no, they believe, because my moral compass says run over everybody who's opposed to honest elections. It doesn't matter what the procedure is, doesn't matter what we got to do. We're going to run your butt over if you're against honest elections. I don't care about the filibuster. Without honest elections, filibuster doesn't matter.
All is lost.
If you can't guarantee the people of the United States that, hey, your representatives, as sorry as they may be, were honestly elected, then you don't have anything. The filibuster doesn't matter. The scale of morality is so clear on this, but our U.S. senators can't manage to do that. And personally, I think anybody who's agreeing with the Mitch McConnell, Thune, Collins side of the U.S. Senate in any way, it's sacred, is unfit to be a senator. That should be a giant litmus test. Because it doesn't matter, because whatever you're doing as a senator, if I don't know you were actually elected by an honest election, why do I care what you say? Anyway, let's go ahead to Rock on Tour. Rock on Tour, welcome to the program. I hope you are well.
I am doing well. Just the first half of the first half. I got the second half of the first half, second half, final thing for the third half.
That was the best half.
We may have that Bluetooth issue going on again today.
Yeah, switch back over.
Yeah, come back.
Gotcha. There, we better?
Yeah, you're way
much
better. Good job.
Thank you.
Gotcha. 3 words for you. Eagle Pass, Texas. That's what immigration unrestrained will do to a place.
How bad off is that place now? Or what are you talking about? Explain it to me.
When we had millions of undocumented immigrants or illegal aliens, depending on what side of the aisle you stand on, come through there, and how literally, I don't even know how many just huge piles of trash, and the city was ultimately destroyed. And,
no, you're right.
It really improved their quality of living. Or the ranchers who were being shot by coyotes bringing illegal immigrants through their farmland, and they got in the way. Or the folks that live in Phoenix who would be scared to go any further south into Arizona because the cartels had begun to take a foothold because we had unrestrained immigration.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. And here's my other question. Is you look at these countries, and I don't know how someone looks at the country that many of these people are leaving and their culture and says, let's bring as many people as possible from that culture to ours because, their cities look so good, their neighborhoods look so good, their how they believe government should work, and I mean, I don't know how we decide that's a really good thing to do, but we do it.
In the interest of full disclosure, I would probably be considered by most as a dual citizen, as my mother was British, so I have a unique perspective on it. You have to think how far back British culture goes. A lot of the immigrants that were originally coming in were from places that used to be part of the British Empire, so therefore they considered them technically British and were bringing them in, although culturally they were much, much different.
Yes.
Now we've reached a tipping point, and protecting the rights of the minority has shifted to the minority is now the majority, and screw you.
Right.
And when you've got a leader like Two-Tier Keir who's kind of stoking the flames, there's not a lot that the average traditional British subject can say or do about it.
Yeah. What do they call them now? The heritage British. I don't know if it's probably racist or something, but the people with genuine British heritage are the enemies now.
Exactly, and it's gotten into a really rough place there now. So and the thing is, it's coming here too.
Oh yeah.
You talk about the integrity of elections. I saw a clip, and I'll try to find it, send it to Sky, where the training video for the San Bernardino County registrars shows like acceptable and non-acceptable signatures. You could literally draw a character of Kirby from the video game as your signature, and it would be accepted.
So if you squiggle anything, it's accepted. What was not accepted? A line?
No, that's accepted. They literally showed in the training video a character of Kirby with his hand waving on one line, I guess that's the name, and his hands raised up like he's jumping as the signature, and that would be considered an acceptable signature for a mail-in ballot.
Rocantour, thank you, buddy. We got to take a break. We'll be back. Welcome back into the program, everybody. So, man, some good stuff, really good stuff. I wanted to point out that we played that clip from the gentleman from the Knights Templars group, whatever it is, and I don't even know who he is. So if y'all look him up and he's a terrible person, whatever. But what he said about the Irish, the Protestants and the Catholics coming together to try to save their country, I appreciated. Then we played the clip from Braveheart, the famous speech.
I teared up, Scott.
Oh, it's amazing. Yeah. And then it occurred to me, again, this show was stream of consciousness, and yes, it's odd. And Sky's had to struggle to understand that there's any. It's so different. And it occurred to me that is why our movies have changed so much in the last number of years. All of a sudden, the superheroes are all women. The men are all terrible, conniving, scheming, and that's when they're smart. When they're smart, they're just scheming, terrible individuals. And other than that, they're dumb and stupid and incompetent. Because when young men and boys, when boys are raised with the stories of slaying the dragon, saving the girl, fighting the tyrants, when they watch Braveheart, when they see these movies, the Lord of the Rings movies, these movies that say, hey, there's something bigger than you, more important than you. There's a God, there's liberty, there's freedom. Stand, take your sword and fight, and even if you're going to be destroyed, the odds are overwhelming. Stand and fight, and people will remember you. It's all the clips of, you've seen them on social media where the girl is like, I just hope when I die, it's in my bed, peaceful. And then it says, and the guy's thinking, his dream is he's standing out there, and the cavalry from the other, I think, what movie is that from? It's actually not a pro-Western movie, but anyway, the cavalry's coming,
White Brigade,
and he thinks he's about to get wiped out, and then right at the last minute, the cavalry from his side comes, or the Lord of the Rings, or he gets off the helicopter so the helicopter can leave the volcano or the planet. I've never seen that movie, and the kids are saved, and he's there, and he's about to die. He died saving these kids, saving his country. Those stories have to be vilified. There was but when Common Core came out, a guy wrote a book. What was it? It was something like Death of the Heroes, or you can't. And the argument was you couldn't read classical Western literature because little boys would aspire to be the heroes from those stories. And when you first hear that, you're like, that can't be true. But after so many years, you realize, no, indeed, that is true. I don't know if I should give anybody credit. He can take credit if he wants it. The reason, I've said this before, the reason Confederate leaders, generals, have to be vilified, their monuments have to be torn down, and then go on after them, go on and vilify founding fathers, from Washington to Jefferson to any of those guys, and go and claim it's all because they were terrible slave owners. That's not why. It does not take very many questions being asked of the normal population of the United States to realize most Americans don't know who these people are, don't even know who won the Civil War, don't know who the Civil War was fought between. They just don't know history at all. And so you're telling me that groups of people who can't tell you who the capital of the United States is named after are driving by a statue going, oh, I feel so oppressed every time I go by. That is bull hockey in the nth degree. So why do those things have to be destroyed? Those things have to be destroyed because somewhere at some time, some little kid from every walk of life and every amount of a melanin and everything says, hey, who were those guys? What was that about? They must have meant something to someone. And then the answer has to be something like, hey, they were willing to fight against someone that they saw was tyrannical. Yes. And because they did that, they they gained legendary status. See, those people can't be allowed. Thomas Jefferson, who says, hey, look, what is it? The tree of liberty must be watered by the blood of patriots and tyrants. You can't have that. You can't have that guy. You can't have somebody who says that. You got to say that he had a slave girl that he raped all the time, so therefore you can't hear anything he ever said about anything. You got to do that. You have somebody like George Washington, one of the greatest people ever lived, who basically could have become king, and says, I don't want that. I just want to go back to my farm. You can't have that kind of those lessons taught. So what do you teach him? You got to teach him he was a slave owner. Because you can't talk. You can't have heroes. You can't fight the dragons. You just can't. Otherwise, you end up with men who say, you know what? I'm not going to take a knee to this. I'm not going to let my country be given away. I'm not going to let my family, my grandchildren. How many times do we say this? I dread and I worry for the world my children or my grandchildren are going to experience. I say that a lot. My wife and I have that discussion. Do y'all? Any of y'all listening to my voice? How many times have we all said, I'm really worried about the world my kids are going to grow up in or my grandkids are going to grow up in? And then after we say that, I'm including this. I'm not getting on anybody's case. I do it. What have we done about it? Are we really going to just sit by and let some squishy, wussy bunch of Karen types at our churches and at our government say, well, you better be sweet. Yes, we're going to destroy your culture. We're going to destroy your family. We're going to destroy your communities. We're going to destroy the future for your children and your grandchildren. But you better not say a word or we're going to call you bad names, and you need to be sweet. Because the sweet thing to do, the godly thing to do, the moral thing to do is to let your grandchildren be destroyed. How is that the right thing to do? Do we really think that's what Jesus said? Let Christendom, let Christianity, let your grandchildren be destroyed? Because it's not hard to figure out the worldview of all the people who are trying to destroy us. They're not for those things. So you telling me Jesus is telling us, throw away your ability to spread the gospel and let your grandchildren be destroyed. That's what you're telling me. We got to take a break. We'll be back. Welcome in, everybody. We got one short segment left. I think my rant probably didn't make it over to YouTube, or if you hear it, you have to hear it through some music, and then after YouTube cancels out the copywritten segments, you'll miss it. But that's okay. I'm literally sweating because deep in my soul, I think, and then I had somebody say, well, then what are you going to do about it? You going to get back in politics?
Oh, that's right to the point.
I think the way the legislature is going these days, I would probably have an aneurysm and die just from the frustration level, and they would just continue to operate. I mean, who would be the allies there?
It's kind of serendipitous that Joey, when he came in, we were talking about just the same thing, running for this, that.
Yeah.
I said the only position I would accept is benevolent dictator for 1 week. For 1 week,
yeah.
And I would do one thing, and then I'd go home. And you know what it is? In the Federal Reserve.
Oh, I thought you were going to make the Allman Brothers do something.
Nah.
A resolution for the Allman Brothers.
They've done enough. Either you get it or you don't.
Let's go to Clark, and then we'll get Charles the First. We got 2 calls left before the end of the show. Clark, welcome to the program.
Hey, Scott.
Hey, Clark.
I'll go quick.
Okay.
So you were talking about the Senate, and they value the filibuster more than the SAVE Act.
They do.
I don't think that's the case.
You don't?
I think they just don't want to pass it, and they can look for any excuse they want. Oh, hey, you're not going to be in the Senate much longer. You don't want to run. You say you won't do it. You know, Donald Trump, according to the left, said there were very fine people on both sides.
Yeah.
We can take that and flip it just a little bit. There's very corrupt people on both sides, Scott.
There are.
Now, we know for a certain fact in the state of Alabama that Roy Moore, we got Doug Jones on that deal.
We did. Republicans, high-level Republicans, caused us to get Doug Jones as a United States Senator. Yes, absolutely they did. Whether they,
Yes, they use the we get to decide who's in the Senate, not you fund to do that.
Yes.
And they were not going to have Mo Brooks in the Senate. And the reason they didn't want either one of those is because they wouldn't do what they were told.
Correct.
They don't want somebody to come there that will represent the state they're from. They want somebody that will go there and do what they're told. And evidently, the people that are supposed to be on our side don't want fair elections as much as the people we're supposed to be against. And see what Charles I of Dewey is.
That's a great point, Clark. Thank you, buddy. I appreciate you. Charles I of Dewey, welcome back to the program.
Hey, Scott. Good to be on here. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
I was going to talk a little bit about Roy Moore, but I think he covered that for me. I kind of want to get to where you were real quick. The whole feeling that you've got, that's one thing that we have in common. I don't know if you can tell it, but even as a little child, I wanted to rescue everybody. I wanted to be a hero. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And I think that should come forward in everything and every time I come on here. And what kind of, you just imagine me knowing what Amber McReynolds was doing in real time, because that's when I wrote what I sent you. Did you get me?
Yes.
That she was actually doing that, and I knew it. And it really upsets me when I know the underlying thing going on, and nobody else knows it, and I watch what they're doing. And going into that right now, I have researched stuff, and if people only knew what I researched and really read in their decision-making over this next week as far as voting, they would have a whole different mindset. But there's no ability that I can find to bring forth for anybody to know it. It's sort of like what you were saying about the legislature and being in there. And it really has to do with middle-of-the-road pretending people. And if I could say one thing, if anybody looks like they are a middle-of-the-road pretending person using a facade for something, don't vote for that person. Can I be any clearer than that?
No, you can't be.
If they're not a true person that doesn't have to rely on some other money like Katie Britt did, I mean, and I like her all right, but if they are that person, you don't need that person. You're putting us in a position that is along the lines of everything you've been telling us was negative this morning. Okay?
Yeah.
So that's basically what I really want to get across. because I've researched some stuff, and Scott, you would just be like, wow, gosh. I mean,
it doesn't
you
surprise
just wouldn't
me.
even, yeah.
No,
Anyway,
it probably
thanks for
would
having me
surprise me,
on.
Charles, at first. Thanks, buddy. I appreciate it. One of the challenges we have here, and it's I see on this show, and I only got 30 seconds, is that there are times that Charles may know something, I may know something, we may have asked questions or run across something that we just can't. Sometimes people who don't pay attention to this show all the time can't take it, can't tolerate it.
Too much.
And then I'll get a call from somebody, why didn't you tell all this? I'm like, because you can't swallow
it's
it all.
overwhelming. Yeah.
Because it hurts your head. So we're going to try to give a little bit more tomorrow. Y'all be good, be safe. See y'all.